I felt like I was a young 20 again.
Well, you certainly look like it. Beautiful man. Okay, rolling again. Here we go. Ramex II, or just
It's
Ramex.
just Ramex.
Ramex.
Man, I may be 40, but this dude's old. He does not know how to delete.
Right. You know what?
That is a pro gamer name, bro.
I'm not reviving you next time. Your 8R41N. Your 8 or 41.
Your brain.
Your brain.
How old are you, man? Learn how to lean speak, brah. I'm sorry for...
Congratulations.
Battlefield 5 has been out for 4 days for people that didn't want to sign up for a subscription service to get the real release date of 2 weeks ago, and there's already tons of things piling up in the coming soon black hole, plus some leaks to discuss. One of the benefits of paywalling the release date is that there are several hotfixes that were rolled out to address the problems found by the people with access to their mom's credit card.
And just because we launched isn't like, okay, what you got is what you got, we're done.
Exactly.
But that's the way we've approached all of our live services in every Battlefield game.
Yep.
It gets better over time, but it's still awesome on day one.
So much for being awesome on day one. One of which was a server update to include each game mode separately, as if people are too fucking lazy to make a custom filter on the browser. Additionally, there was a bug that locked people out of rewards if they were earned during the match, and that person quit because it's hard to backpack 30 idiots that don't PTFO, but they will be retroactively added if you just stick with the ass beating that you're about to receive, and when the round is over, you will get your new shit, of which you only have 45 seconds to figure out how to use it, because DICE somehow thought that this was better than allowing you to equip unlocks mid-match.
So let's talk about currency a little bit. Right now, we have postponed actual in-game Battlefield currency. That's the currency you could buy with real money.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for that?
Well, I mean, obviously the most important thing right now is that the game is good, the game is fun, players are enjoying themselves. And we want that to be the focus of the experience. We want once we make sure we've got a good game that players are enjoying, you know, then we're gonna look at sort of the microtransactions or into the Battlefield currency world and look at that stuff and what kind of cool cosmetics we can get there.
DICE is, however, delaying the purchasing of premium currency with actual cash money, which have been derisively named Boins, or Battlefield coins, that was seen in one of the devs' talk videos. I could see right through this obvious PR stunt in the same manner that Treyarch did with Black Ops 4, where all of the reviews come in before shoehorning in the monetization system, which, had it been in the game on launch, those scores would have bombed harder than Joyner Lucas's ZZ freestyle diss. Continuing with updates, though, there are several items on DICE's to-do list that have been confirmed that will be coming on December 4th, which also happens to be when the first chapter of the Tides of War live service buzzword will drop. That I'll discuss more on later. There's a lot of strange character animation bugs that will be fixed. I mean, I guess that's what happens when everything is a fucking super special animation that completely removes you from the immersion, like crazy ragdoll physics propelling people forward or backwards when revived, getting stuck in mantling animations, and getting kicked out of ADS. In updates to game modes, the domination scoring system was too much copy-pasted from Battlefield 1, but it will soon ignore deaths from the score and be strictly based on flags, as well as the auto-spawn on the start of rounds in case you don't have a shit bucket under your chair to relieve yourself in between the games. Frontlines will be reverted to the Battlefield 1 version, whereby there are no physical bombs, but instead, like Oprah, everyone has a bomb, and bomb carriers on the airborne game mode will no longer be visible at all times like a giant kick-me sign for the enemies to go and focus fire on. For vehicles and weapons, there will be a new ability to duck down when on top of a tank, so it'll make those death boxes even more annoying. However, the bombers are being nerfed, so this way you won't feel like one of those people that claim to have good luck when getting crapped on by a pigeon. Whatever makes you feel better about having to clean bird shit off your clothes. For weapon tweaks, the SMGs won't suck as often anymore, as well as the nerf to both the KE7's recoil and the Panzerfaust being too good against the shit they're actually supposed to kill, so yet another in the plus column for tanks. Lastly, there is a vague threat of rebalancing the time to kill for weapons, even though one of the main reasons why I'm digging Battlefield 5 is that when I shoot things, they actually die, unlike in other FPS games that just came out.
Go December 4th, you'll be able to play the new map Panzerstorm. You'll get access to your practice range.
Yes.
You'll get access to Last Tiger.
Cool.
Now, December 6th, which is the Thursday, you'll be able to play your new sort of Tides of War questions.
Ah, okay, you bested me, got it.
The probable reason behind having these fixes delayed until December 4th is that's when Chapter 1 of the Tides of War, called Overture, which contains shit that probably should have been in the game on launch, but the promise of free DLC obfuscates the fact that this game shipped with the least amount of weapons, content, and maps than in any prior Battlefield game. The brand new Last Tiger war story, of which there are new screenshots available here, will be released, where you can finally play as the German army in a World War II game, but it's still an anti-Nazi narrative with these soldiers questioning whether they're the good guys or the bad guys. Also, Also, in somewhat useless additions, there will be vehicle customization that you can only do in that 45-second window instead of any time during the match, as well as a practice range, which you can see here that has several different components, including a shooting range to show how random bullet deviation is no longer a thing in the game, but you do have to worry about bullet drop. Target practice to get your aim to be better than mine, which isn't that hard in the first place, as well as both a flight and motor range to allow people to get their vehicle practice on. All of this wasted resource for people that aren't smart enough to join empty servers so that they don't impact people actually trying to play the fucking game. And to round it all out, to bring up the number of multiplayer maps to a paltry 9 that Battlefield 1 launched with, we're getting the Panzerstorm Belgian tank-heavy map that looks eerily similar to Twisted Steel without the giant fuck-off bridge. 2 days later, on December 6th, the Chapter 1 progression starts, so you can fill up yet another meter for your OCD people that just want to max out everything. There will definitely be rewards of some sort, which there are lots of things to play dress up with in an FPS that were data mined by Hoopty Booty on Twitter, as you can see in the screenshot here. There are also a ton of new weapons, gadgets, and vehicles that were data mined with the worldwide launch day update. There are 26 weapons that are new, and by new, I mean lots of leftovers from Battlefield 1, since if they were used during World War I, they could conceivably be used during World War II as well. Then another sum of them are present in the War Story single player, so they're easy ports over to the multiplayer, and some weapons that were added into the last Call of Duty game that was also set during the Second World War, so you'll probably be familiar with them already. The only confirmed weapon for the next update is the Vickers K machine gun. However, there are also in the LMG or MMG category the Chausson from War Stories and Battlefield 1, Madsen MG and Browning M1919 also from Battlefield 1, and lastly the Darn and Solo Thurn S2-200 aka the MG30, which are the actual new weapons. Additionally, 2 shotguns for the support class, which are from Battlefield 1, include the Sjogren Inertial and Winchester 1897. For the medic class, the new SMGs include the Lanchester SMG, which is just a British copy of the existing MP28 that has the operator holding that magazine like a guitar player would, and it looks really weird on your hands to be curled fucking backwards pointing at you. The BSA well gun, that's a British version of the existing Sten, and finally the Sterling and ZK383 that Call of Duty World War II players are familiar with. For assault players, the fully automatic Rebby rolls from Battlefield 1 along with the semi-automatic rifles include the new to the series MAZ-44 and AGM-42. Lastly, for the scout class from Battlefield 1, the Ross and Enfield 1917 bolt-action rifles, along with the self-loading Selbstslaughter 1906, also from the prior Battlefield title, along with the Commando carbine, which is actually the Delisle carbine that was in the Call of Duty World War II game. Lastly are the random new weapon classes like the aforementioned carbines, which were part of the tanker and pilot classes in Battlefield 1 that no longer exist in Battlefield 5, like the C96 carbine, FM 1903 stock, and Luger artillery, so they could be for all classes like pistols, which contain 3 new fully automatic flavors for people that miss their shots with their primary weapons and have a safety net to fall back on, the Frommerstop M1912 P16 from Battlefield 1, and the brand new Astra 600.
So for support, I love the Kar 98. Starting out with that weapon, you throw the AA sight on there, awesome. It's got a good range, but not too powerful.
Apparently, there's also a support class KAR upcoming, either that or Dan Mitri, unsurprisingly, has no fucking clue as to which class has which weapons, in spite of the fact that he is the lead community manager for the fucking game. Lastly, in weapons, for those that like to flail around wildly in a shooter game, there's new palette swaps of melee weapons with the Rusty Survival Knife, Quartermaster Knife, M2 Paratrooper Switchblade, Lever Pipe, French Nail, French Hunting Knife, Fairbarn Sykes Knife, Broken Bottle, British Naval Knife, Bar Baseball Bat, and Arditi Dagger. There's also new beepity bops to help round out the class in the form of gadgets like the Mortar, Throwing Axe, which is actually separate from the Throwing Knife, the Fliegerfaust anti-air launcher, M2 and Flammenwerfer flamethrower, which will be interesting to see how they balance that fucking shit out, but it will bring back Bad Company 2 Vietnam vibes, and the Panzer shit like the Panzer Shrek rocket launcher and Panzer Knacker anti-tank mine that kind of performs like a limpet charge. Lastly, our 2 new artillery trucks, the British Bishop and German Hummel, for players that like to sit in the comfort of vehicles but can't be bothered to push out of the spawn and love lobbing shit at people actually enjoying the game. It remains to be seen how many of these weapons are just leftover assets from Battlefield 1 or if they will actually be returning in this game. However, there is certainly lots of new shit that gives me more hope for the live service that DICE is doing here. There is also no M1 Garand mention whatsoever, which is an iconic weapon of the war, but we already know that there will be an American faction coming at some point, with other theaters of war confirmed during the live stream here.
Obviously, there's a lot of questions about different fronts in the battle. You know, World War II expanded the globe. especially through Europe. And we do have intentions of bringing different theaters of war through Tides of War. So you start off playing as British and German here in launch. We will expand that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else I'm going to say after that.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Can't.
No.
Okay. Maybe Ryan would have if he's still here.
We need to be able to hype this somehow.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So don't get your panties in a bunch, people. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Battlefield news and leaks. What do you think about the game thus far? Have you been playing it? Have you been enjoying it? I've been the Schwantz27, bouncing like titties at a strip club. Until next time.
The eggs of Easter.
The eggs of Easter. It is nor Easter, nor do we have eggs here. I'm looking at Ludwig. He's like,
Ludwig, that's
What's
literally
going on?
how I look at him every single day.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, there's eggs to find in a lot of places in this game. I don't want to speak too closely about it, or, you know, I don't want to put anybody about the tractor, but...
I mean, John Deere would be proud.
Well, John Deere would be proud.
All right.
There's a bunch of stuff. There's a bear somewhere. There's all sorts of stuff.
You don't want to get people too egg-sighted, right?
That's a great joke. I like it.
You know.
It's like part of my job is just trying to...
Everybody scramble. Let's go find them.
You're cracking me up.